Let's go. Okay.
Oh God.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Here we go. Oh my God. I'm with, first of all, peace, everyone. I'm with one of my, I just listen, this is a man that I've admired up close and from afar. You get what I'm saying? A real great gentleman, someone I've never had a bout or situation with, which is that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's a rare occasion.
You got me together a couple of times, but
I've gotten you together?
Yeah. In your way.
In my way? What's that? What does that mean?
A little tap.
A little tap? What does that mean? Come on, give me an example.
For example, I was supposed to come and visit you at the restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
And, you'll give me 1-2 liners like, yeah, you were supposed to come last time. And that means...
Yeah, get it together.
Get it together, buddy.
Get it together.
Things like that.
Yeah. I really take my friendship seriously. First of all, this is in Living Black. I'm here joined with Rhys. One of my greatest friends that I look at you as one of my greatest friends. I hope you look at me the same.
Same.
And I take my friendships very seriously. Like if I call you a friend, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
I never want any situations with any friends of mine. You know what I mean? There should be never a situation. We don't sleep together. If we have disagreements, we have disagreements. If you say you're going to be somewhere, you don't show up, all right, cool. But as long as we can move past it, is what I'm saying. But I asked you to come today and you did. You showed up for me. And I appreciate that. Because I sent you something. I sent you something about, like, that was... recently I had posted something talking about how bisexual men are judged a lot more harshly, at least in our community, than other people in LGBTQ. And, that had a lot of conversation, which I was low-key shocked about.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know what I was...
Really?
I just thought it was an interesting conversation that two heterosexual men just had that conversation in the first place. And I saw a lot of people point that out, but it also stirred up, because bisexual men aren't really bisexual, they're really fluid, or they're like, or whatever the case is. And I'm like, okay, but like, how do you also define that bisexual women aren't also fluid? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, why is it only focused on bisexual men? And then why are bisexual men, black men at least, because I can only speak from the black experience, are more judged? Like, why is it like more of like a thing? You get what I'm saying? Like, it just gave a thing.
Okay.
And you had a lot to say.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
What'd I say?
Yeah.
What?
Do you want me to read exactly what you said?
Please do that.
Oh my God, I'm nervous.
I mean, I recall, but I'm just...
okay.
To catch the viewers up.
Okay. I agree with a couple of comments. This is what you said.
Okay.
This is how Rhys talks. He talks, how he looks and like defines himself is exactly how he texts.
That's so funny.
That's exactly how he texts.
It's so funny.
I downloaded the app for you, sir.
I did.
Because you're
TikTok,
a man.
Meaning TikTok.
Yeah.
Because I'm a man of a particular age.
I
had to ease that in. You love that.
I knew you was going to say that. I was exactly about to say that. I'm a man of a particular age.
Yep.
I used to love when he said that shit.
Yes.
That shit was funny.
Yes.
He said, and I must say, I agree with a couple of comments. They aren't judged more, they're judged differently. However, in my experience, many of the bisexual men I've encountered have displayed a tendency toward promiscuity.
Okay.
There we go. Promiscuity. Yeah. Often seeking gratification without much discernment. This has led me to question at times whether their motivations for identifying as bisexual are rooted in genuine attraction or a desire for unrestricted access.
Yeah.
I'm like, this man is potting. I'm reading it. I'm like, oh,
did it make sense?
It made sense.
Okay, good.
No, that made sense.
Yep.
But I also like, I could have like, when I was like, but why? Like, you know what I'm saying? No, like not why, but I had more questions, if you will. And then you said, this has led me to question at times whether their motivations are identifying, blah, blah, blah. raising concerns about selfishness and lack of intentionality in their relationships.
Yes.
I like that point, right? Because I've seen a lot of people also saying the same thing within the comment section,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's really not, you can't date a bisexual man because they're more out there, if you will. And we don't know if it's, I also saw that if it's based around hypersexuality, which we could get into later maybe. And then you, your whole face.
And I want to interject here,
Yeah,
men and women.
Yeah.
That was my thought process.
Oh, men and women.
Although I know the question was more about men, but I
Yeah.
want to be very clear whether we go into the women part or not.
Okay.
I feel the very same way about women. It's the bi part. Are we starting here?
Yeah, start.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. So that's my thought. And this is theory. You know what I mean? Of course, I haven't met all bi people.
Right.
But just doing the math in some ways, you find that it's just many haven't thought that deep into it. It's just that I'm attracted to it. Now we can do it freely, and I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? With no commitment or concern of intentionality per se. You know what I mean? It's just more so like the wind blew this way today. I'm going with that wind.
Yeah.
And at any moment the wind blows stronger the other way, I'm going that direction. You know, and that's what I've seen in action.
Mm-hmm.
Now in talk, everybody is talking intentionality and, you know, I'm just following my heart and da 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 da. Yeah, but what seeds are you leaving? You know, and what are you planting and what are you leaving behind as you're flirting with the world?
Do you have you ever dated someone bisexual?
Not that I know of, no.
That's deep.
No, not that
That's
I know
deep.
of.
But you wouldn't.
I wouldn't
because
say
of
that
those.
I wouldn't, but there would be a lot more interrogation.
Really?
Oh,
With
yeah,
questions?
Yeah. Just and out of curiosity, not
Yeah.
again, not out of judgment, because
Yeah.
I think I also stated as well that I have no judgment against it. I'm not saying it's right, wrong, and indifferent. You know, my thing holistically as it relates to relationships in general, whether you bi, straight, whatever, is that you do right by people.
Period.
You know what I mean? And again, if you're going into something and you're leading someone to believe that this is going to be a fruitful relationship, that we grow into something that's going to be fruitful, then you need to be committed to that.
You need to be committed. Do you think bisexual men are kind of like on the outside of the outskirts of the of the community, if you will?
If they are, it's by their choice.
By their choice. It's not because they're not out. Because they didn't come out.
Right. So I think a lot of the bi conundrum, if you will, is more so internal than those of us that are out here viewing it. Because in the gay community, we don't care. I mean, overall, we don't care about that.
Yeah.
But what I wish for all of the gay communities is that everybody become extremely clear. And I understand we're in a time now that a lot of this stuff is just coming to the forefront where we can be that intentionally and boldly. So I understand the phase that we're in right now. So I understand the vacillation. I really do.
Yeah.
But now that a lot of us have experimented, we've gotten an understanding of both, specifically those of us becoming a particular age, need to start, I believe, we need to start becoming more clear on what you want, how you want it, and just being consistent in that.
It's funny that you like earlier before I think we started recording, you was talking about like since the pandemic, like people are a little bit more. I don't think like they're just not as social as they once were.
Yeah,
I think I low key think at least people and for the generation older, my generation and older than mine's, I think we're like a little bit more out there, if you will, on just of us not even. I'm not trying to sugarcoat my feelings for you. You get what I'm saying? Like I do think the generation Z or whatever you want to call them, they're like they social, they're antisocial and all that other things of that nature. But I think we're a little bit more outside with it. Like, hey, this is what I like, and this is what it is. and if you don't like it, you could bounce.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? And it kind of, I don't see enough relationships anymore. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? Because of
Right.
that exact reason. So it's like, if you don't like what this shit is, fuck it, I don't care. I'm going. I'm done.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then my generation, again, we're coming into the fact that all of this could be open. You know what I mean? So we meet someone like you, and now there's these ultimatums of get with it or not. And it's not necessarily we're saying no, it's just like, whoa, wow.
Yeah.
You could just be that now?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
great. But now I got to, really process how this will look. What does this mean? How will this affect my life? How will this affect a relationship with you?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because if you could drop something that quickly, again, that wind in, out, whenever you feel like it, should I invest here? So it's so many questions, I think, now that there's this mixing and mingling of
different vibes.
Yeah.
I do you said, can I invest here? Could you invest more into, because you said you would interrogate a bisexual man more. Why is that? If you
Wait, repeat that part. I was what now?
you said you said what T, what I said just now?
Did you say that I was You said I
Oh, you would interrogate a bisexual
Oh yeah.
man.
Okay, yes.
You would interrogate a bisexual man
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
than somebody that was just gay. But why? Because both of them could be outside.
Very true. Well, I'm going to interrogate all of them at this point, because again, I am closer to 50 than 40 at this point. So now I need to understand your clear direction. And don't get me wrong, I may flow with either way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm also at that point.
Yeah.
But I just want clarity.
What made you go there? Like, what made you like, I could flow with that now? Because I don't think you was that before.
I probably was on the brink. I think, again, now understanding and probably the empath part of me, I understand. And I get it now. You know what I mean? That people have lived different lives, and especially if I'm going anything younger, it's probably a very different experience of growing up. You know what I mean? My main thing now is me protecting, and I hate to use this because I feel like these are cliche words that we're using now, but I just want to protect my peace. So if we're clear, I'm clear on how you will move, you're clear how I will move, we good.
Right.
But all the changes and the ups and downs, and the next day you tell me, okay, I want a woman now. No, sir. Just go.
But can the same thing happen for a gay man, though? A gay man could do the same thing. Like, I don't want you no more.
And it happens.
And it happens.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think this is deeper than
bisexual. Yeah, that's what I was so confused. I was like, wait, what's going on here? I was actually really shocked by the situation because I'm obviously not in the community.
Right.
Well, not obvious, but you never know. But I'm not in the community, right?
Right.
So I don't know too much about the dialect and the language and the conversations that is going on. But I am intrigued, though. I will say the guy that I had here, which his name is Tahoe, he's also like, we had conversations about it, like in private about, like, we're curious because we're natural podcasters or whatever the case is. So we're curious. I'm like, yo, like, why was that such a thing in that conversation? You get what I'm saying? Why do you think some members of the LGBTQ plus community are hesitant to fully embrace bisexual individuals?
I was texting someone earlier today about this. I just think it I'm not saying me personally.
Yeah.
I'll just speak from some of the things that I've heard. It screams confusion.
Interesting.
Whether it's true or not, but it screams you don't know what you want. You know what I mean? And I mean, in a sense, unless you are extremely mature and you've defined what you want and you are clear, that's really the bottom line. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that, again, and I keep using this analogy, but it's like whatever comes with the wind.
Yeah. I think people that label themselves not label themselves, but they identify themselves as bisexual. Yeah. I do think that they're bisexual. I'll speak on my dating history. Every woman I've dated has had an interaction with a woman.
Okay.
So when I realized that, I'm like, okay, most women are bisexual or gay or whatever,
Okay.
fluid, whatever you want to say. If most women are that, most men are that. You get what I'm saying? But like, they don't identify themselves as that.
Gotcha.
I have a problem with, and I've had this conversation several times. Yeah, a woman ate me out, but I'm not gay. Or I'm not bisexual. I'm like, but you are though.
Because a woman ate
them out. I feel like if you had a sexual situation with a person of the same sex, that gotta, you know what I'm saying?
Or at least by.
I agree with
you on that. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that to me labels confusion. I don't like that. So I do agree with that. That gives me confusion when they don't want to admit to it. Or maybe they don't want to take what comes with that. You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like if you're attracted to the same sex, you're attracted to the same sex.
That's my thought. Yeah.
But in our community, it's low key frowned upon. Even I think for like women, especially like women that are from Caribbean descent, they can't go home and say, "Hey, I'm bisexual." You get what I'm saying? Or like I'm a lesbian or whatever the case is. I'm just out here fronting, dating men. But I'm like, yo, it bugs me out and it does annoy me and it does beg the set situation where it's like, yo, you might be like confused. You get what I'm saying? Maybe you enjoy dick more than.
Well, I guess then my question will then be, if you are prepared enough or mature enough or adventurous enough, or whatever you want to call it, to be bi or to venture out, what is your problem with labels?
I agree.
What is your problem with the label of that? And we just got to call it what it is. If you're dating men and you're dating women, you're bi.
Right. But you know the problem with the label though.
No, I don't. When you are doing it in action.
Correct. But like if you then label yourself as that, then this sounds crazy, but you almost like, okay, I become that if that's what that is.
But you are that.
But you are that. I agree. I'm agreeing with you. I'm playing the devil's advocate on their side, right, where it's like, I don't want to identify as that because then it's a whole different life. You get what I'm saying? Not to say that it is, but people I would say that are or identify as heterosexual do sometimes have a skewed view of the LGBTQ community as like, y'all community is just like a thing. It's like y'all world and we just have a separate world.
Not true.
Which is not true. Right. But you do understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So like that, I can see somebody being like, I may be, but I don't want to identify as that. You get what I'm saying?
So then that brings up another one of my favorite words, accountability.
Ooh.
I mean, like, which then goes back to how we started this conversation. It's where be the accountability around here? That's my thing.
I think accountability, though, I feel like I've had this conversation a couple of times about accountability. Accountability is probably the hardest thing to tap in with. Obviously, you're a man of a particular age. It's probably easier for you, or is it not?
I don't know nowadays. I mean, personally, yeah.
Personally,
that's
what I'm saying.
It has become number one because I understand what the lack of accountability has done in my past. So that's why I'm really big on that.
What has it done?
I've had to repeat a lot of lessons for not being accountable.
Lessons for yourself?
Yeah, personal lessons. Yeah.
That's deep. Like dating the same type of person.
That's a great example. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great example.
I think
but also not being clear what I wanted. Talking one thing
and doing the other.
Relationship, but actually just come do what you do and go. You know what I mean? Type thing. So that type of lack of accountability caused tension and confusion in so many ways, not only for myself, but then for other people.
Yeah.
So again, full circle, when it comes to the bi thing, can you, whether you claim the title or not, can you authentically be that and holistically be that and not be accountable? Then becomes my question. Because I think the skewed perception, both gay, well, we're talking about bi now, is that now that the floodgates are open and I can go whichever way I want, I can go whichever way I want and do whatever I want when I want to do it.
Yeah.
Can't nobody say anything to me about doing it. And I think that's where we need to kind of reel in.
And then hold ourselves accountable.
You have to be. But again, you got to be clear about what you want before you can say, okay, I'm accountable to
the situation. When did you realize, okay, I got to hold myself accountable for the actions I've done?
Oh God. It probably has happened 2 or 3 times in my lifetime. You know what I mean? At certain
you had to like
points.
keep repeating.
Yeah.
Let me relax. Let me take
Now, I
a
don't want
second.
to say I don't want to make it seem like I was out there just.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I know that. I know that. I know that.
But
I ain't Rhys.
Yeah. But at the same time, I'm not, no whippersnapper either. So, I've lived a little bit as well, like most people. But definitely the most recent would have been COVID, because I think that was the moment for most of us, I would have hoped.
Reflection.
It was an intense time of reflection, and then of course you count up the costs, who in your life, who's still in your life, how they got there. How did I meet you?
Yeah, like what am I doing?
That's shaky. That's weird stuff over here. So you had all of those conversations where I feel like we should have. Yeah, so the last time I really had that conversation and faced it probably would have been COVID. Since then it's been
has faith help you with your
absolutely, yeah. Because I think that has also been the nagging on the inside, like something is off. That's not right.
Like a
as
little
we
voice.
call it, in my faith, Christian, we, the Holy Ghost. It was like, nah, come on, pull back from that. So I would hear those moments, and I would feel those moments, but again, I would back up off of them and do what I wanted to do. But then I paid for it in many cases. So that's why, again, I'm so big on and around this bi conversation, and I'm strongly encouraging us, do you, but be accountable. You know what I mean? Be very accountable. And I feel like if you're going to, when you start venturing out and adding diversity to your palette, that it demands that you be even more clear with yourself. It demands that first within that you have answered some of the basic questions, so that when you merge your life with somebody else's, you're clear.
Hey man, that's a pastor right here. Yeah.
Am I? Really?
that's a pastor right here.
A pastor's heart. Let's say that.
A pastor's heart.
I don't foresee me pastoring in the traditional setting, but
no, but like you used to do the church house party situation.
That wasn't church, but it was.
It was in church. It was in the church though. House music.
It was, but that was the intent of that was to move around from different venues. It started there.
Got it.
It would have been at a bar. It would have been anywhere.
It would have been anywhere. Okay, I thought you did that because of your faith, and like it was just like.
In some ways, yes, it was the starting point for that, because that was. It was this notion of, how can I say it? Really, we shouldn't be doing this here.
Yeah,
we doing it here.
Do you think? I know this is a whole pivot. Do you think like religion has, or like, let's just talk about 2025.
Yeah.
As of lately, do you think religion has taken a like, all right, people are gay? You know what I'm saying? Like people are gay. It is what it is. Like, do you still suffer that same? Do you feel like you'll still feel that same judgment?
Well, I rarely go now.
You really go?
Yeah, rarely.
As it not because of that?
Not necessarily because of that.
Okay.
Well, let me give a little backstory to this. I've never felt that personally, in the sense of, or it never affected me.
Right.
I mean, I never even really had the whole gay conversation with my parents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just like, look, y'all, we not dumb. I've always had that notion in my mind
that they just know.
If you need to come talk to me, you can. I'm clear. Like, the writing is on the wall. Can't y'all see it?
Right.
You know what I mean? So at church, it was more so I always walked in every church that I've worshiped in, served in, worked for, where this is me. And if you have any questions, come talk to me. Otherwise, let's treat each other right and let's keep it moving.
Let's keep it pushing. And nobody's ever just like approached you on like
not necessarily directly. I've never experienced that. Now I've seen it happen. I've heard of it happening. So with that said, I do not think the church has evolved that much from it. No. I think now a lot of them are toning the volume down on it because it is such a large number now.
Yeah.
And not so much on the flamboyant, out in your face gay. It's now the group of bi.
Yeah, for sure. That is
that
true.
They don't present that way. They're not saying it, but they feel they're a part of it in a way. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So when you have that now, and I think churches are waking up to that, and hopefully they are, pastors are waking up to you looking at a congregation that they may not look flamboyantly gay or out gay, and the whole congregation is gay.
Yeah.
So you got to tread light, you know, and especially again with after COVID, and you have where most people can chime in on online at church.
1000%. You don't got no. You can't do all that.
Yeah,
you can't even do that.
We can tip in and out everywhere, and never step foot in the church, which is what I do for the most part now.
Oh, you do like online?
Yeah,
the online situation.
That's enough.
That's all you need.
That's enough.
She also a pastor vibe. You know what I mean? I've watched Rhys do the whole situation on Instagram and just give a whole sermon, like.
Well,
and I watched the entire thing. I'm like, this man is great at this shit.
Well, I believe in prayer. I
For
believe
sure.
that works. And again, it's all about principles. So I'm kind of, and you know, the ministry that God has given me is mend, motivate, educate, nurture, discovery of the soul. So I'm that in-between person that I believe heavily in the Christian faith, and I will confront them about bothering these. But then I'm over here saying to you all, this group, you need character. You need the value system. Let's all meet in the middle. So I'll fight for this group. I will confront the church. And most of my social media is really that.
Yeah,
it is
for sure.
An intentional confrontation to those of the faith and who profess to be a part of the faith, calling them to the carpet about character, accountability.
Putting a mirror to their face.
Putting a mirror to their face, and also helping them to realize the reason why most of y'all demeaning this group is because you are that group. Point blank, period. And most of us can quantify that quickly.
Do you see a time? Do you see a time where like all of this stuff doesn't even matter?
I do.
Like whether you're gay, bi,
I do.
Straight,
I do.
Religious or not?
I do.
Yeah?
I do.
Not in no time soon though.
I do.
You do?
I do.
Really?
I think it will take someone to lead it out. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
What about black and white? No. Can't.
I do. And this is why I do it that. Well, you mean the mindset of it?
No, just the mindset of the racism and shit. Because if there's a time with society where this just becomes normal, whether you're gay, bi, straight, trans, or you're religious or not, spiritual, whatever the case is, nobody gives a fuck. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing. Yeah,
I can see that.
Really?
And I feel like we're in the last days of it. I think a lot of what we're seeing now with politics, what we're seeing with the church, is what I call a suffocating era of error. And that's why they're kicking up all the dust, the dirt, the fire, and they're really a small group. Even when it comes to white America, it is a much smaller group now than it's ever been, especially when the white's been dipping over in black.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's becoming a lot more color around here.
Yeah.
The mindset, though, is what we're finding now, that you could be pitch black and still think like that.
Still be on that.
So I think that's what we're dealing with right now. But I believe a lot of that will be circumvented by a good example of a space that allows all of this.
What does that look like? What's the good example?
I think in layman terms, just the basis of a foundation of love and sticking to that, and clarity, and accountability, and everybody owning their part of this love community.
I love that. I was about to ask, does that look like one leader, like on some Barack Obama shit?
No.
Or like, does that look like a community just like driving, let's say the whole of Brooklyn just becomes one happy big whole situation community, and then everybody's like, oh, you got a model. There's no crime, there's no violence, and there's no. Well, let's not even say that. Let's not even think so small. Let's say a certain part of Africa, was once like just they used to demonize, the LGBTQ, but now it's a community of love, religion. There's no more Christianity versus Muslims.
Yeah.
There's just like, who gives a fuck?
To be very honest with you, I think it will take, for just using your lingo, I think it will take a Barack Obama-esque-ness,
Mhm.
but on the bottom.
On the bottom.
So think like a tree.
Mhm.
We need someone,
Oh, grassroots.
a good foundation, who really is not wanting to be a face, but they hold the
The whole
foundation,
foundation. Yeah.
and everything else is built on top of that. We've not seen that type of leadership.
Yeah.
Because I think you need someone at the bottom to kind of keep the nucleus of how we think, how we move, not controlling how people think, but in terms of like that love foundation I'm
Yeah,
talking
I
about,
agree. Yeah.
where they're enforcing that.
Yeah.
And then they are also the person that's creating the conversations for the limbs. Y'all talk to each other and go figure that out. Figure this out. Figure it out. A
I completely
mediator,
agree.
if you
A
will.
mediator. Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like I
But
haven't seen
low, it's got to be somebody that's
somebody
low.
right there on the low
Yeah.
end. Yeah, I haven't seen something like that. And I'm not saying I was around for this time, but just reading on him and watching documentaries and also watching the movie Judas and the Black Messiah, Fred Hampton. Like, I don't think
Okay.
somebody like Fred Hampton just had all different types of colors. I know he's a part of Black Panther Party, but he also had different types of
Yeah.
people a part of this whole
And I think that's
movement.
important.
1000%.
I think that will then be the next layer,
The layoff, the trajectory.
again, from the bottom. So we're building, and then the people are at the top, the branches, what you see.
Mhm.
So it will be more about, and I say this even, it's funny that we're talking about this because I say this even now about churches.
Mhm.
The most successful pastors, in my belief, in this day and age are going to be those that are more so, what's the word I'm looking for? Organizational development.
Okay, I love that. Yeah, that's true.
Less preaching,
Yeah, more doing.
more like can recognize gifts, where to put them, come here, put that, go there, do this, you say that, it's your turn. Okay, you prepare, you next. Come on, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And let the people talk.
Hell yeah. A
Because
true
again, a
organizer.
lot of the abuse of the church has been someone talking over us, many times projecting, many times beating us over the head for who they are, and we over here clear and chilling. So now it needs to be more so where y'all talk and then someone's listening to navigate how to move this community collectively.
Woo!
So it's going to take someone, again, as I say, very, very low in spirit, but
Not trying to be
kingly
the
in nature.
Yeah. Oh, I love
Does that
that.
make sense?
Kingly in nature. Yeah, for
Kingly
sure.
in nature, but low in spirit, to the point where you don't have to ever see me.
But I'm there.
I'm there.
I do want to know, right? My good friend, my great friend.
Oh boy.
What makes Rhys happy?
Collective reasoning.
Explain.
Yeah, I like to see the collective. I want to see everybody in their space, clear, doing what they love to do, and doing it with others. That really makes me happy. And I think that's the beauty of social media for me, that I get to see, people doing their thing, you know what I mean? And doing it unapologetically.
Mhm.
But I still have this sense and burden of that there's still this separation, so everybody's doing it, but it's on their terms in their way.
Not together.
Yeah, but it's not proving to be collectively impactful.
Mm-hmm.
And I can quantify this by what we're dealing with right now, in terms of, as I say, politics. There's no reason in my mind why we shouldn't have a force to combat this foolishness.
I agree.
There's just no way.
I agree.
But again, we're doing everything. It's all on social media. It's all on TikTok. Everybody's moving their hands, but it's not really moving the weapon.
Correct, because we're not doing it together.
We're not. So again, going back to that analogy, you got to have someone that then pulls and understands the gifts, where to put them when it's your turn, And then persons are being clear that my little 5 seconds are going to be impactful. I need to be ready for that.
Yeah.
This person, my 10 seconds. This person, 10 minutes you're going to have. You got to work
You
it.
gotta work it.
And we may not see you again for 5 years. But I'm contributing to this tree that's growing, this collective body. And then when you look up and we're in a situation like this, it's a force that, you know, you can't recognize.
First of all, I completely agree. I um I used to have a conversation with my boy about us just not like really doing things together. You know what I mean? Like we see something may be working, but like not one person be like, okay, I want to do that too. I want to recreate that, but in my own way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of jumping on, and it sounds bad, but like on a bandwagon, like let me help this person out,
Yeah.
get to wherever they gotta get to.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if I help my brother, well, not that you attend to like see if they gonna help you, but like that's pretty much the rule of law.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just by God, and you know, like I feel like it'll come back to you. You know what I mean? The universe lives on through things like that. Like, yo, let's get this going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're doing something important here.
Yeah.
And like if you come along and then you learn whatever situation you got to tap in, like your role basically is what you were saying. Like, hey, you got your 10 seconds here, you got your 15 seconds. If we know our roles in our own within our own community that we create, you get what I'm saying? Then I feel like we could like really do this thing because then there'll be one great solid community here, another great solid community here, and another great solid community here. How I put it is LeBron James having his boys like Maverick and the other guys, just like he puts them in positions of power.
Yeah.
Same thing with Kevin Hart. He put them in positions of power. Now they come together. They got something going on. Same thing. Like they and they are doing projects like that.
Right.
Same thing with Jay-Z and his guys and all this stuff. Like they're doing the projects together and they're creating real change within their community. Like it looks like it's not like on some like let's help the poor out, but whatever. But they're creating black spaces for black people to be creative.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And I think that's really important. How Oprah with Tyler Perry does it all the time. I know we have our things about Tyler Perry,
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, gosh. What a conversation.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, Tyler Perry's gonna do whatever the fuck he gonna do. But at the end of the day, though, he creates spaces for black creatives. Him and Oprah, we can say whatever we want to say about Oprah too. Like Oprah does the same thing when they combine their resources. And I think we could do that on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
But it'll be more impactful to create real change because we care about something else more so than just creative situations. We care about social or capitalist, ideals and stuff like that. We kind of want to not have a huge capitalist society.
Yeah.
How can we change that? How can we make it a more socialist society?
And I mean, from what I've picked up, I mean, people want that.
1,000%.
I have this clip that I posted several times and I watch it in my private time as well because I just love it. It was Erica Baidu, and she was saying about 85% of followers, you got 10% are creators or leaders, and then you got the 5% that are observers, basically, as I say, organizational development, I would call it. And it's just interesting to me. Well, I won't say it's interesting to me, but people want to be led. But I think, too, this is why I talk a lot about humility as well, because I think that's another issue that we're having. You have a lot of arrogant people without purpose.
Ooh. Yeah, yeah.
And I see it on social media.
Hell
you can create.
Hell yeah.
But are you clear of what you're supposed to be doing here on earth? You know what I mean? And if you're not clear of that, you have people running, doing what they want to do, and they feel like because of a like and they're getting a little check from YouTube or whatever the case may be, that you're purposeful. But in some ways, you could be cutting down the very tree that we're trying to
build.
Yeah. So that would be my first thought around that is some people need to just humble themselves and realize you're not doing nothing but copying somebody else. Like, cut it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
It's okay. And that's okay, but then we could be using your hands to
Help them.
lift up that 10%
Yeah.
and not the person, but to build an actual creative vision that is being not managed, but that is being what's the word? I'm trying to not use a church word, but
Use a church word. You taking them to church anyway.
We'll come back to that because I want to think about that. It slipped me the word that I really want to use.
I completely agree with everything you said. You get what I'm saying? And I don't think I love your optimism towards like
For sure.
the world. Like I do. Man, I just don't know. Me personally, like I used to think a lot about the people.
Yeah.
And I found myself thinking a lot now about myself. And I've sometimes been mad at myself, like, yo, come on, how you can't, like, don't lose
For
your
thinking
faith.
about yourself?
Yeah, like
Okay.
full thinking about myself, like, fuck it. I'm gonna do whatever I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make my money and I'm gonna travel and I'm gonna tap, because the world gonna be what the world's gonna be, period. And I get mad at myself because, like, yo, like, how, like, you know, the world ain't gonna change. Like, in that nature that you're doing, like, a lot of people are being like that.
Yeah.
You can't think like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta think as community. You gotta think with community in mind. You gotta move with community in mind. High key, that's why I love doing and living black. You get what I'm saying? Like, I love having conversations that like are, let's broaden the mind. Maybe it's gonna spark somebody that's like
for sure
gonna create that change, whatever it is. Even if we laugh
you're
and joke.
natural at it, so it's clearly a part of your purpose. I won't say it's the totality of it clearly, but it is a part.
Correct.
But going back to what you were just saying about that thought process, and if we can just be very direct, I think it is that thought process. I love you, but it's that thought process that has evolved into president of the United States.
I agree.
And I believe that's if he legitimately won, which I don't believe, but if the numbers are true, that is why people voted for that, because they are akin to selfishness.
Correct.
Even though we have a value system that was presented, when you have, I'm not saying as I heard some people say, the best, you had to pick the best, basically. But there was one that at least had a sense of value system. So you would think there's no way this person is going to ever win. But when that has become the quiet core of how everybody's moving, you're going to agree with that. You will agree with that.
I completely agree, yeah.
Especially when we're in a world of, money, fame, show, social, someone that's inundated with social media. He's everything that this culture has become.
Right.
And so a lot of, I believe, what we're looking at and what we're facing now is really just a mirror to what many of us have become internally. So even when I'm having, and I rarely do have the debates about the presidency and all of those type of things, and what we're going through, I try not to. I don't, because most of the times, if I was going to be my direct self, I would say, but you're him. And I can quantify that quickly. By your desires, by what you feel is important, what you will do to get what you want. It adds up.
I agree. And that's what like makes me mad when I'm like,
and I'm glad that it agitates you.
Yeah, because
I hope it burns you to pieces.
It does. It does. Because I never used to be like that. I
Don't
used to think community first. It's just like the world just be constantly hitting you. And I'm gonna blame myself a lot, because I'm gonna hold myself accountable to take it full circle. I'm gonna hold myself accountable. Social media just affects me sometimes. And I try not to let it, because it's like, whatever, it is what it is. When you just see some bullshit, you see some wicked people, man, and you see the president, you know what I mean? You see people, the ICE, you see the world just being led by hate.
But then you also have to realize too, this is a small penis man who is in power now, who literally was his ambition to gain this type of power so he could get the little control of the guns And now it's really a smaller group than the world, clearly.
Correct.
But it's now being magnified as if they're bigger. I guarantee you it is a much smaller group in comparison to a collective body that actually disagreed.
But that's the power within it, though. Where like the power is, they're small, but they appear big.
Yeah. And he was intentional about
and he's intentional about that.
Yeah.
That's why he's not stupid.
Right.
I don't think Trump is stupid at all. I think he knows exactly what he's doing.
I agree.
Whoever is behind it, or if it's just really him, I don't think he's a dumb man at all. But that's what makes it so dangerous.
I think he's become dumb. Now, there's a level of dumb there. But
I feel like for him, I feel like to think even in his vibe is dumb. I'm just saying he's intelligent enough to carry out the plan.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
To be the face of a plan. Because I think now he's more of the face.
Correct.
Of a plan. This second term, I feel like it's kind of switched. He is now go out there and act a fool while we're doing all what we're doing.
1000%.
Yep.
Yeah, it's worse.
Yep.
And Rhys,
they're gonna probably try to get rid of him and then put another face.
It's just a cycle.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Hopefully it will change. I'm with you.
I believe it.
I'm with you. You believe it?
I do.
Rhys, before we get out of here, so fast, so quick, so soon.
That was quick.
It's like 2 seconds sometimes.
Wow.
Sometimes it's how it feels when it's just real good dialogue. What has made you a better person, you think? Like what has transpired recently that made you a better person?
Transpired recently. Well, I, like everybody else, have went through significant changes from a job, from career. So I'm having to re-navigate into another career. You know what I mean? It seems like since I've been in New York, it's been up and down.
Up and down. New York gets.
But I also realized that that's not abnormal.
Right.
You know what I mean?
New York do that.
But again, as a man of a particular age, now I thought, just thinking from how our parents, were, that, by this time I would be plateauing out. Well, again, considering the environment, it's just a lot of change. So I'm having to redefine. I'm having to become even clearer with who I am. Much like yourself, I have the question, and I want to be clear about that. I have the question often about, should I just worry about me? You know what I mean? And fuck everything else.
Right.
But I realize that there's power to that. So I think that connected to my faith, I know the power of what love can do. I know it. And I know it because of what I've allowed it to do on the inside of me in the face of evil on many levels. So, I would say this time of most recently of having to recreate me or dig deeper.
Dig deeper.
I won't say recreate because I believe it's always been there, but to dig. And that type of digging for me has really stabilized me even more. So now I'm at a place where come with me, whereas 10 years ago, if this would have happened to me, I would have probably been frantic.
Right.
Now it's just like.
It's because of your faith too, though.
Yeah.
1000%.
Yeah.
I roll with that. I've been like heavy on the faith vibes.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
What is your faith, by the way?
Spiritual.
Okay. No, I didn't know.
No. Yeah, no. I've always identified with just being in touch with. There's a higher power, 1000%. God, Allah, however you want to cross it. And I've always moved in that vibe.
Yeah.
But a lot of things just transpire, and it just like sometimes, at least when I was younger, like it would knock me down. Like where I'm like, come on, God, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Now it's like I'm not even gonna question it.
Yeah.
Okay, that happened. Like something small, even like say a water bottle was on the table and it just fell and just spilled over this carpet. No, for real. You know what I mean? Things of that nature where they used to like get me like, yo, come on. Especially when you're not having a great
So that
day.
was God.
No, well, I don't know if it was God, but I'd be like, come on.
Not you being clumsy.
Yeah. Well, it could have been. But I'm saying it could be multitude of things where it's like.
No, I get it.
It's just like the world just felt heavy that day. And then that just made it like, all right, you playing with me. You get what I'm saying? Could have been the devil. You get what I'm saying? It is what it is. But what I mean is now that things happen in life, I'm like, I'll leave it up to God. I leave it up to God. I'm gonna let my faith just carry it all the way through. And and I've found myself having less worry or less anxiety when you just leave it up to the higher power.
Oh yeah.
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 Rhys, I appreciate you for coming, man.
Oh man, I love it.
Got the incense here for you and that shit like that. That just gave me.
You don't do this always?
No, man.
Oh wow.
This is for you.
That's right. We did.
Yeah, okay, exactly. Hey,
I burn them at home all the time.
Yeah. I know. I've been to the crib.
My sage. I want the Christians to hear that. I burn sage.
Oh yeah, Christians don't do sage.
Oh God, that's
it's a whole conversation.
So dumb. So dumb. So dumb.
Rhys, man, I appreciate you, man. I love you.
Thank you. Love you too.
All right, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Peace, y'all.
Real is it?